So what we got is we got water on the floor here in the breakfast nook, or whatever you want to call it. The entire wood floor is wet, and it looks like the water has soaked down into it. And it appears that the water is coming from the wall here. As you can notice, we got a nice new paint bubble that was never here right on the wall. And it's fresh and it's damp and it's just bubbled up right there. And we also have a new crack in the ceiling that wasn't there before. Let's see if we can zoom up on it here. Come on, there we go. There it is. That is new. That was not here, and it's poking down, and there must be water getting in right here. And also the same thing in the kitchen. Get a light on here. You can see that right there, the paint is now bubbled away from the ceiling. Yep, right there. All bubbled away. So I would imagine that water is coming down this whole wall here. And that's where it's getting in and coming out under the floor. Not good. So the rest of the rooms on the main floor look okay, except for out in front. Look at the foyer. This is all wet, and it was all wet, and the water's sunk down now. You can see the bottom of the front door is now all wet and yucky. It smells, and if you look up here, this is all damaged right here. All damaged. So there's obviously issues here too. You can see the whole wall has now cracked and come down to the bottom there. And like I said, it stinks. So those are the issues with the main floor. So now let's go down the basement where things are even worse. Alright, now we will transcend into the basement. As we go down right away, you can see that there is still standing water in the basement. In the main room here, turn the light on. There's probably about an inch and a half of water, depending where you stand, maybe over there, maybe 2 inches by the edge of the bar. It's soaked the whole floor. This whole floor is going to have to come up. There's going to get all kinds of mold under here. All the wood along the bottom got wet, and there's even peeling paint now against the wall. This feels damp too, so it's possible some water got through there. I don't know, but I think this is just bad. It really smells pretty foul and putrid down here, mildewy, and it's going to get moldy really fast if it doesn't get remediated. I'd walk up further and see what's behind the bar, but I don't want to get my feet all wet because, yeah, you can hear the splashing. Oh yeah, it is all wet behind the bar, as you can see. Yep. So all these tiles are going to have to be pulled up. If we go in here, go into the laundry room, you can see remnants of dirt or raw sewage or some crap all over the floor. Let's try and get some more light on the subject. Yep, so it was pretty nasty down here, and it really smells very foul, very putrid. Bottom of the door looks like it's wet, so I would imagine that this whole basement had a couple inches of water in it. If you look down here into the next room, you can see it continues, and there's still water. The drain has been popped up. The floor is all loose and wet. This is all going to have to come up. The corner tiles here are now popped. Those were not popped before. And we also have major gap holes here on the wall that are now poked out, and they're definitely damp, so this is just bad. I don't know if you can see or not on the wall, but it looks like water was running down this whole wall, and still might be. You can see the fresh water dribbles coming down. This whole roof part here is sagging, so I would venture to guess that there's some water up in there that's soaking into everything. You can also see where this is all wet and bubbled, so this whole area is wet and is going to have to be cut out because there's going to be mold growing up in there if it's not already. Yeah. Continue further into the furnace room, more of the same. Water everywhere. There are remnants of water. And there is no water coming to the house, so it's from no other reason than the water coming from outside. So, pretty bad. We have a bathroom back here. I haven't even looked in here yet to see what's going on in this room. This room doesn't look as wet. It looks like it's dried out a little better, but the tiles are poking up. Oh, and you can see water remnants by the wall there. That's still wet down there. Yep, that's still all wet down there. Yeah, it's all wet under the staircase. All wet under the staircase, and it smells really bad. So, I don't know, maybe this is sewage. I have no idea, but it never was like this. This basement did not smell musty, and it had no signs of mold or mildew or anything like that. As I got in old pictures that I took prior in video. This is the, oh God, this is bad in here. This is the cellar, I guess, what you call it. If you can see, this wood it must have been really wet in here. All this wood is wet, probably a foot up off the ground. There's all kinds of sediment in here. Looks like rust sediment of some kind. And all the way around, if you look, it is completely wet. The drywall on the bottom, that's all going to have to be cut out because that will be a mold hazard big time. Let's see if we can maybe look in the wall here. Try not to step in this funk. Yeah. Yep. Really nasty. Really nasty. Yep. So, this is going to have to be remediated right away. This cannot sit like this. This house will be a mold jungle in a week from now, week and a half from now. This place will be a freaking mold haven and have to be condemned. Steps are wet down on the bottom. So, as you can see, it's not too good down there. All these floor tiles are going to have to be pulled. A lot of the bottom wood moldings are going to have to be pulled. Some of the drywall is going to have to be cut. The ceiling out here is probably going to have to be cut down so the moisture and water can get out from that. So I guess we're going to have to discuss this. So that's what's going on in the basement. Go back upstairs. Here we are back up in the living room, and found another spot here. This is damp. I felt it, and if you look, you can see the bubbling on the wall and the crack right through there. So this is bowed out right there. That wood's damp down there where it's dark. So there was water in here as well that wasn't here before. These are fresh bubbles, and this is all going to need to be remediated. There's moisture back here. This is sheetrock, so if the sheetrock is wet or plaster or whatever that is, that's going to have to be cut out and fixed. Can't tell if this is wet or not. This is poking out too.